Great to be here. I love coming to mining conferences where we're only dealing in the precious metals, where it's all fun and games. None of these bulk miners, coal, iron ore, any of those unsexy metals. We're here to see the gold stuff. So wake up, everyone. Here's the Resolute story, and it's particularly focused on Syama. I've actually just arrived back in Perth. I've been on my yearly pilgrimage to the Denver Gold Forum, which again is fantastic to be in amongst a peer group of people focused on precious metals and particularly on gold. And the real theme and the discussion of every meeting I went to at this year's forum was the proposed merger between Randgold and Barrick. And it was the discussion of every single meeting. And the key takeaway for anyone really was the headline announcement on that merger to create the largest gold company in the world was around putting 5 of what was supposed to be the top 10 gold assets in the world under one ownership. From a Resolute perspective, it was very interesting to look at the top 10 gold mines in the world and see so many of them centred around Africa, and Barrick's future again stamped very much on the African continent. I'm very proud to be an Australian miner, and we are in a peer group of very successful Australian gold miners who talk about tier 1 jurisdictions and the great successes their mines have. And it's fantastic to have just come from a world audience that is so focused around looking at great gold mines and looking at the future and where they are, and that's Africa. And so that's why I'm really excited to educate all of you about what we're doing at Syama. And I have no doubt that increasingly we're going to be looking towards Africa as a leading gold mining jurisdiction. Many people will be familiar with Resolute. We've been one of the largest producers of gold on the ASX for more than 25 years. Over that period of time, we've produced 8 million ounces of gold, explored, discovered, built, acquired, owned, operated and closed 9 gold mines in Australia and Africa. I've been the CEO for 3 years, and I inherited the portfolio you see in front of you here. We operate the Syama gold mine in the south of Mali. We're the owners of the Bibiani gold mine in Ghana, and we're the owners and operators of the Ravenswood gold mine in Queensland. Syama was originally developed by BHP and owned by Randgold, and we've owned and operated that mine for more than 10 years. We've also owned and operated the Ravenswood gold mine in Queensland for more than 10 years, which we acquired from Xstrata. And the Bibiani gold mine, currently on care and maintenance, was previously successfully operated by AngloGold Ashanti. So they're big capital invested mines that we're working with. We're focused on 10-year mine lives, mines that can produce more than 100,000 ounces a year and will deliver real value and dividends for our shareholders. Currently, we were recently a $1 billion market cap company, an opportunity for investors at the moment. Our market cap's $800 million. Our guidance this year is 300,000 ounces of production at an all-in sustaining cost of 1,280 Australian dollars an ounce. We have an incredibly large reserve and resources base and a lot of exciting exploration going on. A little bit more about that corporate summary. You can see share price today has ticked up a little bit. I saw when I landed on the plane and checked. I think we closed today at $1.09.5, still significant value and trading at near year lows for a company that is have a lot of exciting things going on at the moment. We are focused on mining gold, which we've done for many, many years, but very importantly focused around creating value. 4 very simple words that sum up what everyone at Resolute's trying to do, and we demonstrate that creation of value part of the equation by paying a dividend to our shareholders. That dividend is a minimum of 2% of our gold-linked royalty, and we'll pay that to our shareholders in cash, or if you prefer, we'll pay it to you in gold through our partner with our long-term refiner here in Perth, the Perth Mint. If you wish to receive your dividends, you can open an account with the Perth Mint or in fact receive that in physical gold. You can see the share price graph there. We're tracking up nicely. Recent reweighting from our ETF holdings. We're on the GDX, and the GDXJ creates a nice entry point. And if you're following directors' dealings, you'll see that I have continued to top up my shares recently. A little bit more about our dividend. You can see that it's gone up over the last couple of years. It is something that we're very focused on. It's the most obvious demonstration of our commitment to shareholder value creation. We're actually in an investment phase into our company at the moment. We're building new mines, but we still believe it's appropriate and responsible to pay our shareholders a portion of the gold that we produce, and it's something that we'll look to continue to do and actually build. We've had a tremendous exploration success from Resolute over the last few years, and our global resource base is now 16.5 million ounces of gold. The reserve base is just under 6 million ounces of gold, and all of those reserves sit underneath mills that we own, operate, and get strong recoveries from. So there's real value. If you think about the value of our contained metal, it's well north of $10 billion, and it's all extractable by Resolute in our mine lives. Quick snapshot summary of the assets that I've run through. You can see the division of the reserves, resources, and particularly the feasibility study numbers that we're publishing for those assets. Important to understand that Resolute is a company in transition. The mines that we're building are predominantly the changing of operations at Syama. We're going underground. We're building the world's first fully automated underground mine. It's a spectacular operation. That mine is going to have a 14-year mine life and all-in sustaining costs of less than $750 an ounce. At Ravenswood, we're doing the opposite. We've had a very successful underground mine, which we're closing, and we're going back to the very large-scale open pits that exist within 4 square kilometres of the mill, more than 4 million ounces. That operation also has a 14-year mine life and will have all-in sustaining costs across that life of mine of US $823 an ounce. Bibiani, currently on care and maintenance. We've completed a feasibility study that shows that meets our hurdle guidelines of a 10-year mine life, more than 100,000 ounces, and an all-in sustaining cost which is just above $750 an ounce. And as we complete our plans at Syama, we'll look towards making a investment decision. And as mentioned in the introduction, we're very active in supporting junior exploration companies and development companies that we think have the potential to either partner or in fact be future Resolute gold mines. And I'll talk more about that portfolio if I have time. I mentioned the theme of transformation. This slide demonstrates a couple of things. First of all, I mentioned our guidance this financial year is to produce 300,000 ounces. So if you look at the pathway to 500,000 ounces on the bottom there, we're showing last year, FY18. This year, not much change, 300,000 odd ounces. Next year, a big step change to 400,000 ounces, and that's purely by the commissioning of the underground mine that we're currently building at Syama. And then the addition of Bibiani the year after that takes us to 500,000 ounces. Fully funded, purely organic pathway and a best-in-industry growth platform. And that's been really driven by successful exploration and a very, very focused studies team. And you can see what's happened to the mine lives of our assets. At Syama, we've taken what was a 6-year mine life in 2012, which would have seen that mine closing this year. And now in 2018, we have 14 years in front of us. At Ravenswood, similarly, we were expecting to close that mine shortly after I started as CEO, and we now have a 14-year mine life in front of us. And similarly, Bibiani, a great option for us to extend our gold production. And underneath that, we continue to build future build opportunities in our portfolio. So I promised you an exploration of our Syama journey. There's a lot going on at Syama at the moment. We run 2 completely independent processing plants, an oxide processing circuit, which is currently running at 1.5 million tonnes per annum, and a sulphide circuit, the historical circuit, running at 2.4 million tonnes per annum. Across those 2 operations, very large reserve and resource base. We've recently updated our definitive feasibility study for the underground mine, demonstrates that the costs have, through a combination of our focus on automation, power efficiencies, and our expanding the reserve base that we're mining, has reduced that life of mine all-in sustaining cost to $746 an ounce. It's going to be a spectacular mine, so let's have a quick look at it. You can see that's the open pit that we stopped mining in 2015. Since then, we've been processing stockpiles. They're low grade. It's been a relatively challenging operation. You can see the 4 million ounces that have been mined at this mine and the significant mineralisation that lies underneath that pit that we're now going to exploit in a very efficient bulk mining sub-level cave methodology. The ore body is 1 kilometre long. It's 200 metres thick. It's delineated by a conglomerate footwall which lends itself to the infrastructure we require. You can see what a sub-level cave looks like. It's a bulk mining method. We're currently developing this infrastructure 3 levels before we start. We'll then start the sub-level caving activity in December across and longitudinal. You can see that it's a very efficient mining method. It allows us to a low-cost mining method, no pillars, total extraction of the ore. And you can see what that mine life is going to do over the 14 years. We're only extracting a portion of this ore body. The ore body remains open in almost every direction underground and something that we're continuing to drill at. One of the advantages of sub-level caving is it lends itself to automation because there's a lot of repetitive activity in bogging, loading and obviously haulage. Originally we designed a traditional sub-level cave with manual loading, manual haulage. And we've expanded that to include fully automated operations with our partnership with Sandvik. All of that automated equipment is already being applied in the industry. I have a personal belief, and we're seeing it all around the industry, that underground mining is going electric and it's going automated. The difference with Syama is that instead of the standard process of retrofitting automation into an existing activity, we've had the advantage of designing this mine for automation. And that means that it'll be the first mine where all of that automated equipment currently being employed at various mines around the world, automated drilling, automated bogging, automated loading and automated haulage, will all come together for the first fully automated mine. A number of benefits of that operation: safety, productivity and certainly future growth. Exciting times at Syama. All of that equipment is arriving on site at the moment and starting to be deployed. The benefits of automation are shown in that definitive feasibility study, where we've taken almost $100 US off the life of mine production cost. But I'm personally much more excited about the future benefits that holds and a number of perhaps not immediate advantages of automation. The first one is control. Sub-level cave, and we operate a sub-level cave currently at Queensland, is all around geotechnical control. And the automation of the mine means that you know exactly what's going on within it. The other huge advantage for us is we designed a mine to feed 100% of our processing capacity of 2.4 million tonnes per annum. The great advantage of automation is that we've already assessed and studied the potential to just ramp up the speed and the operational efficiency of that mine without any additional capital spend and without any additional equipment. And we believe that the mine that we're building will be capable of 3 to 3.5 million tonnes per year without any changes. And we're now looking at how we can augment our processing infrastructure to handle that increased capacity. This is a mine that's already going to produce 300,000 ounces a year, and we have huge potential to lift that through our investment in automation. And also through the potential we have to expand our resources. The efficiency we've had on our processing circuit, our commitment to get more than 85% recoveries from that sulphide circuit has re-enthused our enthusiasm. We've made 2 major discoveries on what is a very mature, already 10 million ounce ore body. Nafolo, immediately south of Syama, and the Tabakoroni deposit, 30 kilometres to the south, represent new major multi-million ounce resources that we're drilling out. Syama is a world-class mine. It's always been known to be a world-class mineral resource, and we're really excited about turning that into a top-tier world-class mining activity. Just quickly, Ravenswood, very important part, very stable operation. We've got a great team there. They've been in place for some time. Very efficient drive-in, drive-out workforce in the historic mining town of Ravenswood, which this weekend celebrates its 150th anniversary. It's like a little mini Kalgoorlie there, a couple of pubs and a very focused workforce. We've been producing around 100,000 ounces a year from this asset for 10 years. And I'm really proud of the work we've done with the Queensland government to achieve all of the approvals we require to extend that mine life for another 14 years. An all-in sustaining cost which will be just below 1,100 Australian dollars an ounce, significant margin at current gold prices, and we believe that there is again potential to increase that production up to around 140,000 ounces a year. Our ability to keep this mine in operation is similar to the advantages we're having at Syama, searching the world for up-to-date modern technologies. We're implementing a beneficiation circuit. We're looking at new environmental management that's had strong support from the Queensland Government, and that's a mine that's going to continue to build value for Resolute. Next on the block is Bibiani. This is a 3 million tonne per annum mill. You can see it there. This is a mine that's real. It's produced more than 2 million ounces of gold. We've got a 2.5 million ounce resource at more than 3.5 grams underneath that mill. We see this purely as an underground mining operation. We've done 2 excellent drilling campaigns, and our most recent feasibility study gives us a lot of confidence that when we're ready, when we've completed Syama and we move on to Bibiani, it will represent great production. We're looking for the next mine. I like to, I'm a great student of history. Resolute, in its history here in Western Australia, built some of the iconic gold mines of Western Australia: Higginsville, Marymia, Chalice, Bullabulling. We went into Ghana more than 20 years ago and built the Obertan gold mine, still in production. One of the best things we did was buy an exploration company in a country no one had heard of in the late 1990s called Tanzania. Had a 500,000 ounce resource, a discovery. We drilled that discovery out. We built the first modern gold mine in Tanzania. We mined 2.2 million ounces over 15 years and made $300 million for Resolute shareholders. That's the principle we're looking for in these little investee companies. A really obvious example would be Orca, that have got a 3 million ounce resource in Sudan. And if people aren't familiar with Sudan, it's currently hosting the world's greatest gold rush. It's become the second largest producer of gold in Africa, ahead of Ghana, ahead of Mali, and only second to South Africa, purely by artisanal operation. There are no modern gold mines in this jurisdiction. US government lifted sanctions last year. We're going in there. We're wanting to partner with those guys. We think we can build a mine there. In other of these companies, we're backing really smart exploration teams who are well funded on good ground that we think can hold Resolute gold mines. We've been mining gold for 28 years. We're turning the corner. This year, we start sub-level caving in December at Syama. We ramp that mine up by June of next year. Takes us from 300,000 to 400,000 ounces. Costs are going down. Exploration's going well. Get on board the Resolute journey. Thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the Symposium.